Hello everybody, this is Carol, and this is a demonstration of the Star Relationship Insight Spread that is at the very end of the Clairvoyance Home Study Course, which we call Pathways to Clairvoyance. Originally, I was not going to include this spread, but I thought it's such a great one to work with, especially after having many requests for a relationship spread, that I decided to include it. Okay, now I have the cards out here already. These are the cards that are going to be involved in the reading, and they may be a little bit difficult for you to see, so I'm going to include a snapshot of these cards close up on the website so that you can see the cards in question. Seems like every time I hold them up, I usually miss the card right in the viewer, so I think that's the easiest way to go. Now you can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards involved in this particular spread. It is a little bit different from the standard Celtic spread, but I'm going to explain the positions. Card number 1 represents past circumstances in relation to the question up to present time. Card 2 has to do with feelings and emotions of others involved. And I'll repeat this as I go along and do the reading. For those of you who are purchasing the home study course, you will have the handout which shows all the meanings of the cards and their placement. Card number 3 over here is outside influences and possible past life issues. Okay, card number 4 is really the heart of the matter, the core of the matter. And then we move to card number 5, and this shows what is surfacing in regards to the question and the relationship and soon to become known. In card number 6, we have the hopes, dreams, and wishes of the querent or the person getting the reading. Card number 7 actually shows the outcome and the way that the relationship is moving towards at this time, and it could be the final outcome. So let's go ahead and do this reading. I have a client coming to me, and she is in a relationship. The relationship has been going on about a year, and my client is asking me, well, I really like this person and I would like to see this relationship move into something more permanent. And is that going to happen? Because my boyfriend is not really talking about anything permanent. Well, we all know that after a year's time, people should be either moving forward with the relationship, coming to an agreement about how the relationship is going to proceed in the future, or if it looks like nothing is going to come of it in terms of both agreeing on what they would like to see happen. For example, if one of the parties wants to get married and the other one does not, the party that wants to get married has to really decide, do I want to continue on and invest any more time in this particular relationship, or do I want to leave the relationship and open myself up to the possibilities of experiencing marriage, especially if it's the first time? So let's go ahead and begin. It looks as though, and I'm reading in terms of the other partner and then the two of them together, it looks as though the other partner may be doing some comparison. Of course, we all do that in relationships. Every time we get a new relationship, we can't seem to help comparing to past relationships and how this person measures up. Or, it may seem like this is a much better person than the last one I was with. And so I really find that this is something that I want to pursue. But it looks like to me the feeling I get is that both parties are very, very strong individuals. Now, it looks as though, and we're going to call him the boyfriend, is a little bit of a diamond in the rough. If you'll recall in reading through the lesson, I talk about symbols and cards that jump out to you, and this is what's jumping out to me here, is that he may be a little bit of a diamond in the rough because of the rough bark on the tree. It also may mean that this person has a tendency to be a little bit gruff at times or grumpy, but that the person who is getting the reading is a very smooth, strong individual. I feel that both complement one another, and if they can let go of the comparing part of it and just take the relationship at face value and take each other for just the way they are, for the, not trying to change one another, then the relationship might flow a little bit better. But that just seems to be what has led into the relationship right now. And we get into the feelings and emotions of others involved. And my querent really feels like she's getting to the point where she has to fight for what she wants. And also I get the feeling that her current partner really doesn't like confrontations of any sort. So, if there is a confrontation, like where are we going with this, and if the answer doesn't come or doesn't seem to be acceptable, fights could ensue and create some real problems, including, and I'm getting a feeling from the armor that this person is wearing, that the boyfriend may put up a wall of resistance, and he doesn't really want to leave the relationship, but he really doesn't want to get in fight mode either. He really just wants to enjoy the relationship right now for just the way it is. And this is a person who definitely cannot be pushed or forced into doing something that they don't want to. So it's a little bit sticky right here as far as everybody's feelings. And behind the scenes, there's some tension building, which we all know can start eroding any relationship. Okay, we move to card number 3 over here, the Rebel, which represents outside possible influences. And I'm getting that in this case, there are friends of the boyfriend who are advising this gentleman, hey man, you don't need to get married to be in a relationship. Just enjoy the relationship for the way it is, but definitely, you don't have to get married, and stay a bachelor and keep your options open, because once you get married, that's it, it's over, and your life is basically over. And that's the feeling I'm getting as far as the advice that's being given to her boyfriend. Also, in moving into her outside influences, I am getting that family and friends on her side, are a little bit more, I want to say, open to the fact that maybe they don't have to ever get married, because today's a new world. And that, in some ways they're saying, why don't you just, rather than fight him, just stay with it for a while longer. You don't want to throw away something that's been pretty good up until now. But I get that she's just not buying it, that, she feels like, hey, my clock is ticking, and I really, really do want to experience marriage, but I also want to be very independent within that marriage and not feel like I'm subservient. So you can see there's a lot of emotions going on right here. Now, the heart of the matter is that this is card number 4. I'm feeling that if she can approach how she talks with him, and in a way that's non-confrontational, if she can really be soft about it and let the pushiness just, fall to the wayside, but just say, this is something that means a lot to me. I feel that we're very good together. I feel that marriage is not a burden, or I don't feel like one person necessarily has to gobble up the identity and the individuality of another to come together to be a good, strong unit. Because if you'll remember back to the first card, I felt that each person within this unit of this relationship is very strong, and certainly they have the ability each to stand on their own 2 feet. But this is the feeling I am getting from this card. Now, those of you viewing this reading, you may get other feelings about this card as well. So as you follow along, hey, make notes, take a look at the cards, and see, you might come up with something slightly different. Remember, this is a demonstration only. I'm giving you, an idea of how the flow of this reading can go, but definitely add in your own ideas as you follow along and see what you come up for yourself. All right, so that's the heart of the matter. As we come to card number 5, what is flowering and soon to be known? Isn't this interesting? That we actually do have the flowering card, and I forgot to mention, this is the Osho Zen deck, which was created as a standard tarot deck with 78 cards, but I read it as an oracle deck. I don't try and correspond the cards to the regular tarot, because I believe that the cards really can stand on their own and you can get so much from the symbology. But I'm feeling as the querent, the lady that I'm doing the reading for, I feel like if she gets more involved in her own activities, like even, doesn't worry about being together all the time or every day of the week, or has her own interests that she likes to do, that would be very healthy and bring even new fresh air into the relationship. And it could be she might take something up like yoga, or even some metaphysical classes or classes in spirituality, and he might become a little bit interested too, as she's doing these things, to include him in and try and find some common ground and some activities the two of them can do together and yet separately. So that's the feeling I'm getting from card number 5. I also feel too that if she's able to do this and can relax and really just go with the flow of how things are going, even though it's been almost a year, I feel like a shift is in the air, a shift is coming, and there's more positive energy coming around the relationship, wrapping around it. And I get a sense that the relationship is going to be moving out of maybe high tension into a much calmer and better time. So it could be that they are actually, just going through some of their first major wrinkles, and then overcoming that obstacle, and then getting into a higher level of functioning within the relationship. The hopes, dreams, and wishes of my querent, it looks, another healing card. Isn't that interesting? It looks to me as though there's healing in the heart. I feel as though if there have been any feelings of martyrdom, or feeling like a victim, or he doesn't understand me, or he doesn't realize how important this is to me to have an actual marriage and to maybe even think about having children, I feel like there just is a calmness coming in, and also in the heart area, a soothing feeling of more love is happening as they can talk their way through the relationship. I'm not even seeing that any kind of counseling is in order here. I really don't feel that way. I feel like each is open to growing, and I do feel that, he is not so set in his ways, that he isn't open to new things and growing as the relationship grows. So again, I do get the sense that it's moving in a good direction. Now, here with the outcome, we have the understanding card, but in the Osho Zen, the understanding card, you have two birds in a cage, but the cage is open, so either person inside the cage or persons, has the ability to come and go and have their freedom. And this is what I think needs to happen, is the promise and actual showing that, hey, we each have our own lives and then we have our life together. My sense is in talking to her, I'm going to say this as the outcome. I see this relationship moving toward commitment. The commitment may not be an actual sign on the dotted line marriage, but it may be a commitment type marriage, or one that isn't legalized but is definitely might even involve a ceremony where they do commit to each other as life partners. And I also feel, and as I watch your face drop with this, I also feel like there is a good chance that it will eventually move into a marriage type situation down the road as he becomes more comfortable in his role and feels that he can handle the responsibility of not only being a husband and a provider, but being a father as well. I just feel a shift and a change, and into it's like it starts here and goes out here, and then I feel it coming back this way to an agreement that they both come to. And with that, and with understanding and caring about one another, because I do feel a lot of love here between them, that the agreement will be satisfactory to both, and it'll bring about, I feel, a lot of happiness. And I get a very gold feeling from the birds, so I feel like the relationship really has an opportunity to move into a golden relationship, and one that is very committed, very connected, and very strong. So this is just one example of the star relationship insight spread. There can be many questions asked as far as relationships, or it can be used for actually any type of a situation. Change in career, looking for a job, what's coming up, even like what's going to happen in the next 6 months of my life. There just, the possibilities are endless. But I did want to show this spread to the class because it's one that is a great alternative to the 10 card Celtic spread. And just like the Celtic spread, more cards, and I don't read the Osho Zen reverse, but I do notice if certain cards come up reversed. You can add 3 more to each to get even more information and more clarification in the reading. And this can be quite a lengthy reading, as a matter of fact. And even if your client's question is asked in the first go around, they may pose a second question. And I do this, and I've seen many psychics deal right off the top of the deck, put down more cards in answer to each question that comes up. And this is one way to do either a half hour or an hour's reading. I feel like it could definitely move into an hour's reading. So as you can see, with each question asked, you can put some more cards down. You probably want to keep your cards much neater on the table, and we're a little bit scrunched for room here. There isn't a whole lot of room to try and get the cards in the lens of the camera. So again, you can pick up the cards and even lay down 7 more cards, and the used cards just put over here. Some people ask me, well, shouldn't I pick up the deck and shuffle it again, or have my client shuffle the cards again? You can do it either way. You really, really can. But for some reason, I have seen this work out very, very well, because there's already energies in the card of the querent. and you are on a roll. And when you're on a roll, then you want to keep going, and you don't want to break the energy. So this is why I feel that this is an excellent way to do it. But anyhow, I hope you enjoy practicing the reading. You can use any oracle deck with this spread, or if you already read the tarot, some sort of tarot deck, you certainly can use the tarot in this spread as well. Thank you for watching, and this is Carol Nicholson with Imagine Spirit. And for the Clairvoyance Home Study students, enjoy practice.